Hi, it's December 26, 2024. Welcome to the new edition of the Ron Chappell Show. I'm Ron Chappell. I'm sitting here with guests in the studio. First, let me recognize the engineer of the program, Pastor Chris Thomas. Good afternoon, Chris. How you doing, sir?
God bless you, man, and Merry belated Christmas, brother.
Absolutely right. Absolutely right. Well, it really is still Christmas. It's Christmas until New Year's Day, I believe. But anyway, folks, this is a new edition of the Ron Chappell Show. As you recognize, it's at a different time slot. This may be the ongoing time slot, 12 to 12:30 on Thursdays. This program, we will be interviewing and having conversations with newsmakers and business owners in the Harrisburg area. And we have a very, very special guest on the program today. Let me tell you a little bit about him. He is a business owner here in the city of Harrisburg. He's a father. He's also the 2018 graduating class spokesperson for the Martin Luther King Leadership Development Institute. So that makes him a MLK scholar. Okay, he's also a Harrisburg City Council member. He made a very important announcement a few days ago. He announced that he is now a candidate for the office of mayor for the city of Harrisburg in the next primary election. And so join me as I welcome to the set Harrisburg City Council member, the Honorable Lamont Jones.
How you doing, man?
Good.
How's everybody?
Bless you, man. Welcome, brother.
Now, you're no stranger to the program, Mr. Jones, so may I call you Lamont?
Absolutely.
Okay, well, welcome back, Lamont.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I told the folks a little bit about you. So for those that are not familiar with you, tell them, who is Lamont Jones?
Lamont Jones is just someone that Harrisburg, born and raised in the city of Harrisburg, someone that is has deep roots here in the city of Harrisburg. As you mentioned, I'm a business owner, a father. I serve on Dauphin County Prison advisory, state probation and parole advisory. I teach civics in Dauphin County Prison. I advocate for reentry, people coming out of the criminal justice system and helping them find their way back into society and adjusting. Someone that, again, that cares about our youth. And I really got a deep concern about our city and its current state. I'm a conduit. I just want to see things happen the right way. That's pretty much it, man.
Okay, as I mentioned, you made an announcement that you are now a candidate for the office of mayor in Harrisburg. Well, why did you decide to run for mayor of Harrisburg?
Well, when I got to council, of course, everyone's probably pretty much familiar of, the trials and tribulations I had to go through to get to city council. I've always had a deep understanding and perspective on government, not just local government, just the United States government itself. And I wanted to make some changes in the city that are so desperately needed. Sitting on the sideline and we complain about a lot of things in our city, something that's not working correctly, something that this isn't right, that's not right. And instead of talking about it and complaining about it, I wanted to do something about it. And that's why I ran for council. And as I got to council, I can say, Ron, honestly, within the first 4 months, I can see that there needed to be a change at the administration level of our city that has been running this way maybe for the last 40 years. And I just, again, I didn't want to complain. I said, I'm going to do something about it and put myself out there on the line for our city and become a candidate.
Okay, that's quite noble of you being proactive. You saw a problem, you see problems, and you're setting out to correct those problems to the benefit of the residents of Harrisburg. Now, let me ask you, how old are you, Lamont?
I'm 49.
You're 49 years old, okay? And why do you think that the voters should select you as the next mayor of Harrisburg?
Well, two words. I'm different. I'm not the same what we're used to having in our city. I think I've proven over the last 15 years that I have deep concern for our community. I'm boots on the ground, hands on. Even as an elected official, I'm out in our community, fielding calls and going out about these constituent services and making sure that the people are being served and protected correctly. But I've also bring a different vision. I can honestly say since Mayor Reed's administration, when Reed came into the city of Harrisburg, Harrisburg was at its low. It was very low. And Reed came in, he had a vision, he was a visionary, a mover, a shaker. He came in and he built up the city of Harrisburg. We have to give him that respect. Though it didn't end well, he did come in and make some changes. But I would say that no administration after Reed has even attempted to move our city forward. And I say that respectfully.
Okay, for those that are not familiar, Mayor Stephen R. Reed was a mayor of the city of Harrisburg. I believe he served for 28 years.
Yeah.
And this is probably going back 3 administrations ago. Okay, so let's talk about your platform. What is your platform as a candidate for mayor, Lamont?
Again, when I came to council, I started out, I wanted to be in a public safety chair and actually serve as the public safety chair. Again, because I think our city is in dire need of being safe. So that's still going to be my number one thing to ensure that we have safer communities. I want to make sure that people are okay, our elders, our seniors are able to sit on their porch. Our children are able to play in the playgrounds without fear of gunfire and loss of life. I also want to make sure that I'm continuing to fight for Harrisburg-based businesses to be included in the economic growth of our city. And the reason why I say that, we see a lot of construction going on, but we see none of that income trickling down into our communities. So that's one of the things, two of the things that I want to speak on. And I also want to move our city forward. I have a great vision. I think I have a great team that surrounds me that is going to help us see that vision come to fruition. Again, being that voice and being that advocate for this city, a great representative, someone that can serve with integrity, someone that doesn't want to serve as a dictator. I want to be include the community. When I say that, I mean I really want to be able to sit down with our community and address the concerns that we have. So pretty much, man, I'm just here to serve the people. I know what serving is. I know what it's about. I'm not self-serving. I'm here to do work for the city.
Okay, playing the enemy's advocate for a minute. What do you say to those that may say, well, okay, here's a young, brash city council member on his first term, and now he feels that he's qualified to run for mayor. How would you respond to that?
Well, have a conversation with me. A lot of the people that I worked alongside with for the last 15 years and what I'm working with now, the people that I'm working with now, they understand that I understand that there is a need for someone to lead. In order to be a good leader, first you have to be a good follower. And I have great seniors. I have a wise counsel around me. I'm a student of life. I'm bringing a brand new perspective, something that is so desperately needed in our city. Don't take that I've been at council for a year and think that, oh, he's just new. No, I've been doing work in the background. As I told you, I shared with you earlier. I teach civics in prison. Civics isn't even in our schools anymore. So I have been a civic engagement manager where I've registered over 3,500 people here in the city of Harrisburg. I worked on 4 different political campaigns. One was mayoral, one was congressional, state rep, and another one was mayoral. Then I came and ran my campaign. So I'm very well-rounded when it comes to policy and understanding how actually government functions. And that's very important. When they redrew the lines here in our city for the 103rd and the new 104th district, I blew up a map and took it out in the communities, on the corners, in the bars, and showed them, hey, this is what's happening in our city. So there's a plethora of people that understand and that know that I understand what it takes to be in this position.
Okay, thank you. You know, I have a response for those that may consider those things or may say those things against your candidacy. Uh, how many know that the youngest mayor in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania was a 26-year-old first term council member,
Mm,
and that's Luke Robert Ravenshaw.
wow.
He was the 59th mayor of Pittsburgh from 2006 to 2014, and he was a city councilman only from December the 6th to December the 6th, uh, 2005, and he served until September the 1st, 2006.
Mm,
And so it's not as rare as a lot of folks might think it is for a one-term city council member to run and assume the office of mayor
yeah.
of the city that they represent. Okay, what are some of the things about Lamont Jones that people may not know that you would like them to know about your character and about your interests?
Um, you know, again, for those that don't know, again, I would ask them to sit down and have a conversation with me, so they can actually see how I operate with people. Most people have friends and they lose them because of disagreements. I'm not one to hold grudges. I can move past things that may disturb you or agitate you. You know, I'm deeply concerned about the people of this city. No matter if they're Republican, red, white, black, Puerto Rican, it doesn't matter. I am a humanitarian. And people may not know that, but I give, never expecting anything in return other than respect. I'm deeply rooted here. I have my children here. I was born and raised here. I am someone that you can easily talk to, easily to get along with. Now, I am a little feisty. Let me be clear. I am a fighter. I will not shrink in any room. And that's just the confidence of me knowing who I am, and it's for others to get to know me. Those that know me know. Those that don't, I offer them that opportunity to have a conversation.
Well, those would be a plus, I believe, for the residents of Harrisburg, because we know that there are many quote unquote carpetbaggers that come into this city because it is a small town, and a lot of them may think they can pull the wool over
Absolutely.
the administration's eyes, and so we would all benefit from having a progressive fighter as the chief executive in the city of Harrisburg. Okay, I know you. We attended the same class at the Martin Luther King Leadership Development Institute,
Yes.
where the class did, as I say, select you as the class spokesperson.
Hmm.
And so, be it that you make the ballot, and I'm assuming now that you will.
Hmm.
I really, really look forward to the debates that'll be taking place. Okay, but of course, the first step is for you to make the ballot.
Absolutely.
What a party affiliation are you connected with?
Democratic.
You're a Democrat? Okay, all right. Okay, and as I say, I know you as a very articulate, outgoing, and approachable person. And to that degree, would you mind if we were to open up the telephone lines now?
Absolutely.
Okay, folks, so there you have it. If you have questions for Mr. Lamont Jones, the Honorable Lamont Jones, council member for the city of Harrisburg, who's now a candidate for the office of mayor, please feel free to give us a call. You can speak directly to Mr. Jones. The number is 717-889-7181. The number once again is 717-889-7181. And we prefer that you be a voter, a resident of the city of Harrisburg. The phone lines are open. Okay, now we know that running a campaign, especially at that level for mayor, is a very, very expensive proposition, Mr. Jones.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and to that extent, have you set out to raise funds for your candidacy, for your campaign?
Well, yes. I got everything set up now. I had to, switch accounts from my council account over to a mayoral one, and that took a little time to do. But we are live now with ActBlue to raise funds. And my kickoff event is Sunday. This Sunday, the 29th.
This Sunday.
Yes, the 29th at Crawdaddy's from 6 to 8, and that's where we'll be I'll be sharing part of my vision, and I have a bunch of people there that are supporting this movement, and I call it a movement because, again, this is something different. I want to run a non-traditional campaign, something that you said that you couldn't wait for the debates, and I tried to do this when I ran at council. That word to me is divisive. So I don't want to debate with anyone. You state your case, I will state mine. I don't have to fight with anyone to try to belittle them to get where I think I need to be. I'm on assignment, Ron. A lot of people, we believe in God, and if you know that, when God calls upon you, you answer the call. You can't walk away from that. There was many times that I didn't feel that I wanted to stay in the race because of the attacks, but I knew it was bigger than Lamont. This is bigger than Lamont. This is about our city moving forward. So, and you're right. It's going to take some financing, and I'm going to depend on the people here that I represent to help with that. I don't have any special interest people that I'm looking to take funds from. Again, I want to serve with integrity and have the support of the people of the city.
Okay, I'll just say that debate, that's the accepted terminology.
Absolutely.
For those persuasive arguments. So I wasn't speaking of debate in the mode of a war of words.
Yeah.
But to balance, to weigh opinions about certain matters. So I was using it in that sense.
Yeah, I know you wasn't doing it that way. I just wanted to put that out there because, mostly campaigns they get dirty, they get muddy. There's a lot of mudslinging. I'm not looking to do that. Our city's in trouble. That's my focus.
Absolutely. Okay. Now, how long ago did you make your announcement to run for mayor?
But I'll say about a week.
A week ago. Okay. Have you received any endorsements yet?
They will be there on the 29th. There's I can let this cat out the bag because I think this is very important for our audience to know and the city to know. How there was always a time when I seen the administration and council at odds, even today.
Okay.
Right. My council is supporting me with this. They've worked alongside of me. They knew when I came in with fresh ideas. They supported them. Some of them we've seen play out. Some of them are going to be coming because I'm still a councilman in 2025. I won't take office until 2026. So I still have another year to show the people that I am ready. I am the person that you need to help lead our city in a new direction. But yes, I have plenty of endorsements coming.
Okay. When is the primary, incidentally?
May 20th.
May 20th. Okay. And you're going to run as a Democrat?
Absolutely.
Against the mayor. I believe she's running for re-election. She is also a Democrat.
Yes.
And so, quite frankly, one of you will not make the ballot.
Yes, if we don't win in the primary.
Right. Okay. So, say, God forbid, you don't make the ballot. Do you have any plans to still run, perhaps as an independent?
No, I wouldn't finesse the process that way, because at that point I believe that the people would have spoken,
Okay.
and I'll just continue to do what I've been doing, and I'll try it again. If we don't get the results that we're looking for this time, I'll try it again.
Yeah, well, you're young enough to try it again, so okay. But we do believe that you'll be acceptable and electable and elected by the people in the primary. But speaking of endorsements, you have an advocate, someone that would vouch for your candidacy and your ability to serve as mayor in the studio right now.
Yes, sir.
And so we would like to bring this Harrisburg resident to the program. Pastor Thomas, if you turn on this camera, please. And he's a well-known Harrisburg resident, and also, I believe, still a Commonwealth employee, and he's the Honorable Mr. Brandon Flood.
Thanks for having me, man. Yeah, I do want to make one correction. I lived in the city for 30 plus years. I
Okay.
currently am not a resident in the city, even though I work very much so in the city. And that's kind of a testament to my work because y'all think I still live in the city.
Yes,
So just wanted to clarify in case anyone out in the universe said, hey, I thought he just moved. So, yeah, to your point about endorsing, Lamont's candidacy. I mean, yeah, the work speaks for itself. One of the things you had mentioned earlier about if there be questions about his electability or suitability, that's why the Constitution and that's why the statute dictates very specific qualifications, the basic qualifications that folks need to meet, which is to be of age, live in the residency, and obviously serve and be elected by the electors in that jurisdiction. So he certainly meets that, and I would say, at the end of the day, when we're talking about what makes someone a suitable candidate for mayor, it's the team you put together, because there is no I in the mayorship. You heard Lamont mention earlier about not wanting to take a dictator approach to work collectively. So mayors as good as the team that they're able to assemble. I think a suitable mayor is also as good as their ability to build coalitions. I think that's one of the things that we haven't seen with the past few mayors. You had to harken back to Mayor Reed. For all of his foibles and shortcomings, the one thing he was good at was negotiating and being able to build coalitions and communicate. So, if you have any candidate that has those two qualities, in addition to being passionate about the work, that's the person you want to see be victorious. And for me, obviously I work more so in the policy space. I've lobbied before city council, very familiar. Certainly if Lamont will win, we're going to speak positive. When Lamont is victorious, certainly I would want to be able to continue to have an imprint on the policy in the city to really make the capital city, because now these days it's looking like Lancaster City, looking like the capital city when you go down their business corridor and whatnot. So
Yeah.
I'll put a pin on it there. But yeah, he's definitely my guy. Obviously I'm biased, but even if I was stepping outside of myself and just looking objectively at this brother on paper, superstar.
I appreciate that.
Okay. Let me bring in the engineer, also a Harrisburg resident, long-term Harrisburg resident, Chris Thomas, Pastor Chris Thomas. You have questions or a comment to Mr. Jones?
Sure. Congratulations, Lamont, on
Yes,
this
sir.
Wonderful announcement that you've made.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for sharing this announcement here at The Voice and on the Ron Chappell Show. Just real quick, if and when you're elected, what will be the first two paramount issues that you plan to tackle and accomplish, sir? Please and thank you.
I don't know if I want to let that out the bag.
Okay, understood,
but no, I can, because we have some great plans. We have some great plans, but again, attacking public safety again is my number one issue.
Yes, sir.
We have to be safe in our city. We have to be safe in our schools. Continuing to build those relationships, as Brandon aforementioned, with the county commissioners, with the district attorney, with the school district. These are something that I'm working on right now and will continue to highlight once we do take office. And if I look at some of the numbers today that are disturbing, and it should be disturbing for everybody. If we look down in York, they had a high homicide rate at one time. The other day, I think they just had their 5th homicide of the year.
Sure.
Great numbers. They went down. We don't want to lose anyone, but those numbers are completely down. 5 homicides. If you look at Lancaster, they have 3 homicides. If you look in the city of Harrisburg, we have 23.
Wow.
23. And so that is a problem. My goal will be able to reduce that by at least 25%. How do you do that? So you have to have a plan to do that. When we're looking at the age groups that are out in our communities that are dealing with violence, right? They're creating their own culture. They're emulating something else that they're seeing from someplace else, because this is not what we're seeing here is not born and bred here in our city. So I look to attack in that area, building high quality after school programs. Again, creating that relationship with the school district, bringing resources here, and equally appropriating them in the places that need them. So these are some of the things that I look to do immediately as we're working today. I look forward to continue to doing that and making our city a much safer place.
Well said. Just real quick,
Sure.
in conclusion, if the faith-based community or nonprofits would love to have you maybe come and address their congregation or those that are a part of those organizations, would you be willing and available to do that type of thing, sir?
Absolutely. I've always worked in the nonprofit space. I've never been a nonprofit, but I've been a vice president of a nonprofit.
Yes, sir.
And I've worked alongside other nonprofits and took positions in those spaces and advocated for them. But what I would like to see again, I would try to bring those organizations and those nonprofit organizations together. I think we can serve ourselves better by coming under one umbrella instead of getting these short pockets of money and the resources quickly depleting. If we can get under one umbrella, and that's a task.
Yes, sir.
That's
Yes,
going to
sir.
be a
Yes,
task,
sir.
but it's
Sure.
something that I'm willing to take on.
That's awesome. Thank you, man.
Yes,
And our
sir.
best wishes.
Yeah.
Ron.
Okay, folks, you still have time if you want to call in and speak directly to Lamont Jones, candidate for mayor of the city of Harrisburg. You can still give us a call at 717-889-7181. That's 717-889-7181. Now, for those that may want to volunteer to work for your campaign, Mr. Jones, who would they contact and by what means?
Yeah, hold on. My mic still active?
Yes.
Yeah, so for anyone, and we're in the process of the website, by the time that we do the formal announcement on the 29th, will be all up and running. But in the meantime, anyone that needs to connect with the campaign, whether you want to volunteer, whether you have ideas, policy ideas, or contributions, etc., you can email all of those inquiries to info, that's INFO, at bjflood.com. Like my name, so info@bjflood.com.
Okay, and so you have a meet and greet and campaign fundraiser, I believe, on the 29th.
Yes, this Sunday.
29th. Okay, this Sunday night. Okay, what time does it start?
6 p.m. 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. There'll be an open bar, and we will have some food for people. And it's going to be a great opportunity for people to have a conversation with me that may have not had one before. But then I think it's also a great opportunity, for people to see the support that we have on this endeavor. And I think it's going to be a very powerful statement for the people because they want change. The city wants change. I never want to take on a position that because somebody wants you to do it. People like, hey, you're going to be the governor. You should be the governor. I'm not going to do it that way. Again, I'm on assignment. The Creator and the ancestors have been walking with me, and I feel them. Because being able to get out in front of a lot of the things that are happening in our city, it takes courage. It takes courage to be a candidate. It takes courage to run. Because of course the attacks are going to come, and I get it. I'm not going to be able to please everyone, but I'm always going to make sure that I'm making the best decision possible for the people that I serve. So I think this is going to be a great opportunity for our community and supporters to hear some of the things that we have in store for this great city of Harrisburg.
Okay, you spoke about the crime numbers, especially the homicides in other cities. Well, I know there's a city that I visit a lot in New Jersey, and they have for the past 3 or 4 years, they have instituted a curfew, a 10 p.m. curfew, I believe, for those 17 and under. As a matter of fact, there's a siren that blares throughout the city at 10 p.m.
Wow. What city is this?
Night. Atlantic City, incidentally.
Okay, wow.
The city I lived in before I moved to Harrisburg back in 1992. Okay, would you consider something like that, perhaps a curfew for the young?
So let me enlighten the viewers and the community. These things are always been on the books. When I came into council, again, being the public safety chair, that's the seat that I wanted, and I actually got it because I believe that I can help in that area. So I wanted to come in and write new policy and say, hey, this is what's wrong. Being here, living here, you know what's happening. You know what the people need. So I wanted to address those things legislatively, right? But when I got there and I'm looking, I'm like, these things are already here. So what's missing is enforcement. That's what's happening. Is there's enforcement, and I don't want to use the word enforcement as so much of a punitive word.
Implementation of them.
Yes, so we have to implement those things that are on the books already. we have to enforce them. That's what law is. You know, the police aren't the law. They're there to enforce it. So we want to make sure that they are doing the right thing as well. You know, we have a lot of controversial things that has happened with our police department here. I'm looking to bring a fresh new perspective to all of it.
Okay. Would you consider having cops walk the beat again?
Absolutely, that is something that I know that we need it. I know it's something that's needed because as I was growing up and I had my run-in with the streets and incarceration and things of that nature, there were police officers that walked in. They even coached us. They were on the team. And I'm not saying that there aren't police officers that aren't doing that today, but at the level that I saw it, it's not there. I should be able to walk around the corner and see someone, especially in these high tested areas where we're seeing a lot of the violence, the uptick in the violence. Violence can happen anywhere, so I can get that they won't always be where they need to be at that particular time. But yes, I would love to increase the walking the beat in the city.
Okay, you said a word a moment ago that may scare some or may have some try to feel a certain way against you. You mentioned incarceration, but will you make it clear to the voters that you have received a full pardon?
Oh yeah. That was the great thing. With the help of my good friend here, Mr. Flood. Yes, you know, after we won the election in 23.
And they were trying to keep you off the ballot because of that.
Absolutely.
And just let me interject this. There was a great outpouring of residents of the city of Harrisburg, of all walks of life, that came to that particular court hearing to support Mr. Jones. Go right
Yes,
ahead.
and that spoke volumes, you know, because
About your character.
absolutely, these people see me doing the work. So, and I never hid that I was in trouble. That's something that I did when I knocked on doors. I told them, you know, all of the spaces, if you can see, prison advisory, state probation and parole, facilitator in state prisons, in Dauphin County Prison. So I'm always around. My business is based on helping reentrants come home and find good, decent pay and work to make sure that their lives are going on the right path. Mentor, I'm a certified life coach. All of these different things helps explain why I was doing that. When you experience something like incarceration and you come out and you found a blueprint to change your own life, I want to share that with the next individual. And so that people understand this. When that happened, and I'd like to thank the city of Harrisburg for coming out, because they knew I wasn't the person I was as a young man, you know. But what it does is it inspires other people. It lets them know that, hey, because you have these felonies, because remember, this was a challenge, and we strategically went after this because of it. The law states, I believe it's Article 2, Section 6 of the Pennsylvania Elections Code, that anyone with a felony or an infamous crime cannot hold public office. But what it didn't say, Ron, is that I couldn't run. So I said, hey, I'm going to challenge this law because I'm not that person that they see on paper. You know, when people go into the court system, the judge has a vanilla folder. They have all of the bad things that you've done, but they don't have the good stuff. They don't take record of that. But that's why I'm so grateful for my community, because they took the record and they knew that I was no longer in that lifestyle. I've changed. It was been over 15, maybe 20 years since that incarceration, that record was being created. So, but I think it's an inspiration, and this movement here is going to inspire them even more, that we can push the envelope, never give up, always believe in yourself.
Absolutely right. It's got to be a great inspiration for those that may have made mistakes years ago in their life. And incidentally, we had Rajette Harris, who was the chairperson of the Dauphin County Democratic Commission, on the program back during the last election, during the general election. And we actually asked her that question about felons, if you will, running for office in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, if they were allowed to hold office. And she said, yes, indeed, there are at least 2 or perhaps 3 office holders in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania that have been convicted of felonies. And so, but anyway, yours is all cleared up because you have received a full pardon.
Right after the general election was November the 7th, November the 8th, I had my public hearing. A public hearing is almost the last stage of pardoning. And it took about 3 years, man, to get to that point. However, once I filed the paperwork, I never even looked at it. I just kept on living my life, and then it just so happened to come up when we ran for council in 23. So, and after November the 8th, you know, they wanted to give me a pardon, and then I had to pay off some fines, and, you know, people assisted helping me do that. It was a $10,000 thing that I had to pay to, that I owed the city or the state. And, you know, upon that happening, before I even took office, and this usually doesn't happen, so I'd like to thank Governor Josh Shapiro for what he did, because, and I actually got to meet him and talk to him face to face. He told me himself that my story was inspiring, and to keep going, don't stop, to keep pushing, because they could have challenged me January 2nd when in the inauguration, right? And it's called quo warranto, where you can be removed because of the felony, but that has to come from the district attorney, right? Of course, he wasn't planning to remove me. However, I just wanted to be, I didn't want to go back in any more courtrooms. So I got the pardon hand delivered to me, signed way well before that it was supposed to be given. So I'm very appreciative of that, and that also shows that people have belief and faith in what I'm doing.
Absolutely, and then those were some powerful statements made by the governor, Josh Shapiro, who incidentally, for those of you that don't know, was Commonwealth Attorney General before he was elected governor of Pennsylvania. Okay, well, the program has come to a close. Matter of fact, we went a few minutes over, but that's quite all right. And before we go up there, I want to ask Chris if you have one more question for Mr. Jones.
Again, Lamont, congratulations, man. You've been a tremendous pillar in the community. Your work speaks loudly and clearly for you.
Yes.
We have nothing but best wishes. You have our support here
Appreciate
at the station. Again, if there's any other special announcements or any way we can help moving forward, I know you have a friend here at The Voice 17104. God bless you. Enjoy your day.
I appreciate you. Yes, sir.
Oh,
Yes, sir.
okay, and we're going to give you the closing word, the last word, Mr. Jones. But before we do, I want to bring Brandon Flood back on to give us some contact information for those that may want to volunteer or contribute to Lamont Jones' campaign.
Yeah, once again, website will be fully functional, I would say, after the 29th, first week of January. But in the interim, feel free to reach out to me directly. You can reach out either social media, pretty accessible there. But formally, you can reach out via email. That's the best way. Info, I-N-F-O, @bjflood.com. Again, that can be to indicate your interest in volunteering. That can be monetary support, or that can even be ideas, things you would want to see be part or to be incorporated in the next administration. So look forward to the engagement.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Flood. Now, Lamont, if you want to give them information again about the fundraiser, about the meet and greet, where people can come and step to you and speak to you to bring up their concerns and ask questions of you. That's this Sunday night, and give them the address, please.
1500 North 6th Street. That's at Crawdaddy's. Again, the event will kick off around 6 p.m. and it will last till about 8 p.m. We have a great lineup of orators, supporters that are going to be there. And again, it's a great opportunity for people that have any questions about my candidacy or ability. I am open to a conversation. I will always remain respectful and grateful for those that want to ask those questions. I welcome it, and I hope that everyone comes out. It's time that we move our city forward in a direction that is beneficial to all residents and stakeholders.
Okay, we wish you well, and we thank you very much for being our first special guest here on the new edition of the Ron Chappell Show, and we hope that you out there will join us again next Thursday at 12 noon, when again we'll have a conversation with a newsmaker or business owner from the Harrisburg area. For Chris Thomas, the owner of The Voice 17104, this is your brother Ron Chappell, wishing you a wonderful day. Thanks for watching. Okay.
Appreciate you, man.
Appreciate